And now back to the Kovacs Perspective.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've went from a real serious topic, and now all I want to do is laugh, and I want to find out about humor and laughter. I hope I'm going to pronounce this gentleman's name right, because then he's not going to just make funny jokes. He's going to make funny jokes about me, and I don't want that. Ramsey Swice, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well.
Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, Ramsey Swice, that's correct.
Hey, fantastic. Randy. I've had a lot of stress in my life. You got to make me laugh today. First of all, though, Randy, tell me about
Ramsey.
Ramsey. I'm sorry, Ramsey. See, well, there we go. Ramsey, tell me about your site. Tell me about your YouTube site. I was on there, and I was watching you on a 40-hour road trip in a car the size of an eggshell. Like a smart car. Tell me a little bit about this site, and tell me about what the hell you're doing in a little car driving for 40 hours.
Some people call it a fish head or like a shoe, like a one shoe or a. I left on Sunday night at 11 o'clock. Didn't stop at a hotel until 4:30 on Monday, so that's 17 hours.
Okay.
In the smart car, and it was packed, and I had to put my legs up on the dashboard, and luckily I didn't get pulled over. And then on Monday, I spent the night at the hotel, and on Tuesday at 4:30 a.m. drove until 2:30 the next day, so that's 23 hours. And so that's 40-hour drive. That's the title of the video.
All right, well, now Ramsey, let me stop you here. Why did you drive for 40 hours? Tell me you had a destination, or were you driving naked, or did you have like two women? Well, you couldn't have two women because it's a smart car. Why the hell did you do this? Why?
I moved from Chicago, and now I came to my new home. In the video, the last slide is the picture of my new home, and we actually transported 30,000 pounds from Chicago to Temecula. It's called Wine Country. It's the same city that was in Sideways. It's called Wine Country. It creates more wine than Napa Valley. Those are the two most wine-producing valleys or cities, is Temecula and Napa Valley. And so yeah, we moved. We after 30 years living in Chicago, now I'm no longer a Chicagoan.
Okay, wait a minute. So you moved there strictly to drink the wine, didn't you, Ramsey? Tell me the truth. Come on, you know that. You're going to go down every morning instead of coffee. You're going to have wine out of the valley where you just moved to. Is that true?
If I drink wine, I have to be with somebody. It's just so depressing to drink wine by myself.
I agree with you. Hey,
yeah.
I agree. Don't drink. Drink coffee. I mean, just look at the wine vineyards, as they probably say, vineyards. Hey, but I want to find out about your site, your YouTube channel. I think that is really cool. Tell me about it. Tell the folks about it. This is really cool, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I started it 3 years ago, but I think the most captivating element of this web show that I started, it's actually, I call it a stand-up comedy reality show. And so in 2010, it was December 4th, 2010 was my first show at Hookah Bar. That's where a lot of Arabs are. I'm a Christian Arab, which only makes up about 4% of the population of Arabians,
Mm-hmm.
Or of the Middle East. But the most captivating element, really, and it just dawned on me like last month that I wrote a screenplay. I've won 2 awards for one screenplay. And so it's something that I do. I'm the founder of Script Writing on LinkedIn, and I work for Chicago Screenwriters Network. But I wrote a screenplay called Can I Be Mean, Please, Please? And it's about this family, which is a replica of my family. And It's about this 13-year-old African American who's a class clown, and the power that they're mediators. Class clowns. They control and they have power over people. It's really hard to explain. They're icebreakers, and so I wrote a screenplay about this kid who he has to break into the scene. He's so young, and this agent starts to believe in him, and he goes through all these contests, and he ends up. It's this whole 3-act structure, and then I realized just a few months, like last month, that I actually wrote a screenplay before I started my web show. But my web show is called I Never Repeat a Joke, and basically the whole business model is that with social media now forcing its users to amuse and entertain, and in order to gain likes and followers, and if not, say you write a status or a tweet that is hilarious, that you know that it's hilarious, and it doesn't get any attention at all, it gets you in a dark mood, and kind of and it makes you depressed. And depression is a really it's like a straitjacket. It's hard to cure yourself of. And so I created this outlet for people to gather their Facebook statuses, gather their tweets, and it's an outlet to in front of a live crowd. You get a live reaction. And so it's called I Never Repeat a Joke because now there's a lot of sense of entitlement and people turning their nose in arrogance with the recession, and people are looking for this cure for depression, and so when they see somebody that never repeats a joke, they're like, hey, I could do that. Oh, how's he do it so easily? Or let me contact him. Or hey, I've been to this place. I'm gonna go and see if I could meet him. And or they'll either become engaged or they'll want to. I've so far 8 people have been on my show that have never tried comedy. I'll name them: Zach Brakovich, Carl Lewandowski, Ramiz Swice, Oda Zidane, Brent Workington, Casey Griffin, Chris Bandis, and Mike McCarthy. Those are 8 people, and I give them. They have their own spotlight on my show. They have their own videos on my channel, and then they create a spin-off, and they'll either never try comedy again, or they'll create a web series and start to create a snowball effect.
All right, Ramsey, hold on one second. First of all, let me start by telling the folks. I mean, you got to check his site out. Again, I Never Repeat a Joke. So I guess you just go, pop into your browser. I never repeat a joke. Rather, I Never Repeat a Joke. YouTube, and you'll see a site. And what I liked about you, Ramsey, is that you're in this little smart car, and literally it's like a sardine. I mean, I hope you had like a little onion in there too, because you look like a sardine. Nothing personal. You were just stuffed in there, but you were real, Ramsey. You were just like a regular guy that made me smile and laugh. And what's really cool, that's really cool. Now, I got to make 2 observations. You said something about Facebook and Twitter, the new media, the social media out there, and I agree with you. I think we're out there trying to sound real cool and do say the right things, and maybe when we don't get a reaction, we kind of kick back. It's another dynamic. I'm an older guy, so I knew the old dynamic, and you're a younger guy, and you see what's going on there. So I think what you said about social media totally makes sense. Now I have a serious question to ask you. I shouldn't, because I would rather you make me laugh, but we got time. Let me ask you, has comedy changed, in your opinion, in the last 5, I'm going to go just 5 years? I've noticed something, and it just may be because I'm getting old. I'm ready for the old folks home pretty soon. But, I mean, it seems like it's changed. Am I wrong on that? Has there been a big change, or am I just full of crap? Maybe I am. Please tell me if I am.
No, it's enormous change. There's 60,000 comedians in Chicago and New York. And before, nobody knew how to get their feet wet when it came to comedy, and now it's the big thing. First it was aphorisms on that would be a big hit. And then it was pictures, and then it was pictures like scenery, and then it was pictures of your children, and then it was videos of your children, and then it was like edgy statuses that your parents would not approve of.
Right.
And then it came to now just about everybody thinks they're a comedian. And so in the last 5 years, Louis C.K. says that his big obstacle, him and Louis C.K. had a show called Talking Funny with Ricky Gervais, Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld, and they said that they have to every year discard some jokes and add new material, and they compared it to food, how we Americans say food for thought, and how food could spoil, and that you have to add new material. And so I just kind of took it to the next level. I thought, well, hey, maybe 3 years ago I saw what social media was doing to everybody. It's so it's like a virtual reality, and it's so hard to turn away. And so I just thought, well, hey, maybe if I start this I never repeat a joke, it's going to be embarrassing. I come from a traditional family, and it was very difficult. I've had to do a lot of I've had to prove my salt, and I have, by the grace of God, that I have. I'm not a gambler. I have a phobia of gambling. I can't even walk into a casino without my blood turning into battery acid. But I just figured, well, okay, well, if this is where social media is going, let me go ahead of the curve. Let me start this thing called I Never Repeat a Joke. I got into the newspaper after 2 years. It's called If There's a Joke, There's a Way. And after that, I got hired as a comedy teacher. Now I'm teaching the methodology, how to sell yourself as a comedy writer.
Okay. Now, is there a difference between a comedy writer and a comedian? Are they separate, or can they be the same? Does that make any sense?
This is the question that is this is the question.
Answer, Ramsey? You're the man. You're the expert. I got you on the show. You are the man. What's the answer? Don't sit on the fence. Give me an answer, my friend.
I say after 27 interviews, this question has always come up, and I say that a comedian is not the same as a comedy writer, and the host always disagrees with me. But a comedian, I don't know.
I agree with you. I'll be the only the host that agrees with you. I agree with you. I think the two can join every now and then, but I think there can be a very big difference. But I don't want to go too far. I want to find out tell me something funny. What's the craziest, funniest thing that happened to you? What's the funniest story you can tell me so I can maybe just smile? I don't want to have a belly laugh. I just want to smile a little bit. Tell me something funny. Be my court jester, please.
The funniest story that's ever happened to me, that's actually would be a good title for my web series, the funniest story I know. Okay, how about this? I was working for the Armed Forces, online healthcare. We were creating online healthcare for Navy vets and Marines and Army and SEALs and all that. And so I was surrounded by all these people that were in the Armed Forces, and one of the lieutenants was like, I'm going to Jimmy John's. Do you want anything? And I said, no. And he came back and he was eating his sandwich, and I said, Jimmy John's is a big thing nowadays. And I said, my favorite number is number 12. So he's eating his sandwich. I'm like, what's your number? He's like, what? I'm like, your number. What's your number? He's like, what are you why do you want my phone number? I'm like, I don't want your phone number.
He thought you were hitting on him, didn't he?
Yeah, he thought I was hitting on him.
Yeah, nice. You got to, it's a military kind of thing. Hey, it just makes me think. You were working on healthcare. I mean, has Obama given you a call or something? I mean, I think we their website's having some problems. They need a pro in their corner, my friend. Maybe we should call.
I did I think that should be one of the perks for people just getting their feet wet. In comedies, they should be allowed to make those edgy remarks and not be called out on it. But I made a Barack Obama compilation of it's me at 8 different comedy clubs making jokes about Barack Obama, and that's how I got in the newspaper. And after that compilation, it's just called Barack Obama compilation if someone wants to look it up on YouTube, or Funny or Die. And somebody Reddit said they're going to call a SWAT team. Somebody said, how dare I make fun of the first lady? And people call me just they're so overprotective in Chicago of Barack Obama, and I really I felt like a famous celebrity. I was getting so much flack,
Really?
People telling me to go kill myself.
Jeez,
and
man, talk about bullying to an adult.
I felt really famous.
Yeah, you got famous. I guess, and I just realized that Ramsey, that's his hometown. But and I agree with you. It's great to be edgy. Chris Rock, you mentioned him earlier. He's got to be a genius. I mean, man, it's so funny, but he's so. I mean, maybe it's the wrong term I'm using, edgy. He walks that line so much. Every now and then he says something. I go, uh-oh. But I laugh too. You know what I'm saying? He's so funny.
All right. How about a couple of jokes?
Go for it, man. Go.
Why is the nose sad?
I don't know.
Because it's always picked on.
Brum-bum-bum. I used to be a drummer. All right, that's a good one. That's not bad. Give me shoot some Henny Youngman jokes. People have no idea who Henny Youngman. Do you know who Henny Youngman is?
I heard of him.
Way before my time too. He played a violin. He had one-liners. He was famous for one-liner.
Take my wife, please.
I think his famous joke was, "Hey, take my wife, please. Forget it." I'm not a comedian.
He was in Goodfellas.
That's yeah. He was. I think he was. Anyway, shoot me some jokes, my friend.
No, not Goodfellas. He was in he was in Scarface.
Caddyshack. Right. Caddyshack, I think.
What's the name?
Caddyshack.
My producer in my earphone is telling me he was in Caddyshack too. Anyway, very famous. He's really funny. But now you're the young Henny, young comedian. So you throw me some one-liners.
Well, I'll give you an anecdote instead of a one-liner, because I don't want to be known as the one-liner guy.
Got it.
So my number one favorite joke of all time is rectum damn near killed him.
I'm already laughing. That's rectum damn near killed him. Okay. But
the thing about the superlatives about being the number one is, I think if everyone wants to be number one, there should be a lot more jokes about sperm, because sperm have to compete against 200, 300, 400 million other sperm, and they have to be number one, otherwise they're kaput. So I have a sperm joke for you.
Got it. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna use you in the joke. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to me, as long as you don't ask me for my phone number. Go ahead.
So if Steve Kovac was sperm, he'd be a stain on the ground.
He'd be.
But if I was a sperm, I'd have 2 legs, and they'd call me Speed Racer.
Geez, I'm gonna go to bed tonight. I think of myself, sperm, me, and on the ground. I just, oh man. Hey, you have crazy friends out there in Chicago, or are all your friends like, bunched in and not? Are they as crazy as you are, or wild as you? Or tell me a little bit about your friends.
It's been difficult to. the most difficult part about this business, about my web show, is when I was offered a TV contract by Madhouse Entertainment, but they said they'll only offer it if I get to 1 million.
1 million hits or whatever.
I have 825,000 visitors on my channel. Okay. I never repeat a joke. They said I have to get to 1, and they're actually only a few miles away. Now that I'm in Temecula, they're only about, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe 40 or something. But so I think I've lost a few friends trying to promote. Like I said, this is my 27th interview, and people love the interviews. People love the videos. People love the change of pace and the different jokes, and I have a lot of 4,000 followers on Facebook, and I get a lot of love and support and camaraderie. But it's texting, it's sending out like emails and trying different venues where you'll just get them at the wrong time, and then once they hide you, you'll never see them again. So I've sent out invitations to my shows, and it's just, I'm 30, and once you get to this age, a lot of people are off having children, getting married. And although I've had a few people, a few of my close friends and family and supporters come to my shows, groupies, or I guess they're called, once you invite them so many times, I guess they see really no point in even coming to my show. If I'm bringing the show to them, they would rather take the easier route. But I do have, so I don't have any crazy friends. I do have a lot. No one's ever came right out and said, "Leave me alone." So thank God for that. But because that I don't want. Comedy is supposed to make people happy, and I don't want any negativity.
Sure, no, and it should make you. Let me stop you for a second. It should make us happy. You're right, comedy. But tell you what, first of all, you're going to get another 200,000 or 150,000, whatever viewers you need. You're going to go there. It's just going to happen. And when you go there, just hire me, and I'll be your crazy friend. I'll do whatever. I'll just jump around and be an idiot when Madhouse Entertainment signs you up. So consider me. Oh,
I love that.
Yeah, I'll be your guy in the back saying, doing crazy stuff, because it comes natural to me. You mentioned something, Ramsey, about a class clown. I was a class clown in elementary school, and
Wow.
The nuns, and I went to Catholic school, and the nuns didn't appreciate it. I had nightmares as a little kid, and there were nightmares of I had a nun. She was literally, I think she was about 6 feet tall. Her name was Sister Mary Warren, and she constantly chased me. And and I had nightmares of like a penguin, a tall penguin chasing me. But I had a ball. But Ramsey, I'm telling you, I wish I was a clown now, and I really am not. I'm enjoying talking to you because it's putting me in a funny mood, But I think comedy's great. Ramsey, when I was in elementary school, I went home with stomach cramps. I swear to you, from laughing. That is so cool. I mean, isn't that a noble calling? I mean, you are a comedy writer. I can see that. You're a content man, and I think that's where your genius probably lies. And I think that is so cool for people. If you can make me laugh and make my burden of life, because we all have a burden in life. Some of it's a bitch. And if you can make us laugh, that's really cool, right?
Yeah, and I'm 30 years old, and I don't look. I look like I have a baby face, and and thank God for that. But because, well, it is my calling, and but I did not start until 3 years ago, and I really felt like I was at the right place at the right time at the right everything. I've had 62 shows in Chicago, across the Chicagoland area, at 30 different comedy clubs, and never once did I not feel blessed after a show, not even a single time. And I don't mean to, get personal, but my dad said that I've had a few off shows, and I think what he was saying was, sometimes I'll perform for one or two people, and it doesn't matter. I mean, if I'm there by myself and I'm laughing, that's laughter. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Yeah, but, if somebody told me, I used to be in a band years ago, and somebody told me, the leader of our band said, Steve, I would, because everybody wanted to make money. We said, hey, how much is this gig paying? And we weren't good, that good, and we weren't making big money or anything. But the leader of the band said, I would do this for free. And, people laugh at that, and I don't laugh at it at all. I mean, that was his passion, and that's what I'm hearing out of you. And now, continuing on a more serious note, why do you think you want to? Why is this you think it's your calling, or do you feel? Why do you think this is your calling? Why do you want to be a comedian? Is there a reason, or is it just something that you think maybe the good Lord or fate has in store for you, or is there like a psychological reason that this floats your boat?
It's I mean, 1,000,000%, it's my calling. I was born to do it. I'm blessed to do it. I am grateful to have the honor of being chosen to do it. I don't like the idea of manifestation, whatever it's called, the preordained.
Okay,
because
I know what you're saying.
If you believe in everything already being preordained, then how are you going to go and tell jokes? And you know what I'm saying? Because time stops when you go on stage. But I wanted to mention, I really like that, how you say if it's your passion, you do it for free. Because my English teacher, there's some people that change your life forever, and my English teacher in junior high school, Mrs. Rabers, she said that's when you get the most respect, is when you do something for free. And I'm not doing it for respect. Like that, Rodney Dangerfield would say, "Hey, I get no respect. I got no respect."
Right.
And honestly, I was telling Lorraine before the show that comedy is a double-edged sword. You really, I have 14 pages of hate mail, and I was actually published in from comedians in Chicago, from like maybe 20 or 30 different comedians in Chicago who just slam bammed me, and it was the most beautiful. It was so beautiful, and we bonded so much, and they love me. By the end of the 17 pages of just hating me for what for who I think I'm a good. I don't even know what they were just slam bamming me, and at the end of it, they're like, "Dude, we love you. You are the greatest thing to happen to Chicago." And I'm like, "Well, how did you start from,
hating you to loving you?
I'm gonna fight you to."
Well, they say love and hate is close. I've got to end because I'm being told that we're at the end of our time. But two things. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, go on his YouTube channel. I never repeat a joke, and I'll tell you why I want them to go on. Ramsey, you look funny in a smart car. Ramsey, I mean, you're in that little ass car, and that camera's close to you, and you're saying and you're tired and stuff. You look funny. So, second of all, I think in 5 or 10 years, you're going to be somewhere, because I think what's behind, deep inside you, and I want to talk to you about your future, but we don't have time. Maybe for another show or somewhere else. Maybe when you're on Mad Entertainment or whatever, we'll do it again. But I have to end it now, so I'm going to just say thank you very much, my friend. We'll keep in contact, I'm sure, and thank you for being my guest. And until next time, we'll be good and kick ass and make people smile, man.
I will. I promise, and I hope to hear, and I really, really hope to hear from you. If I'm ever in Cleveland, be careful. I might knock on your door.
That would be great. I'd love to see it. All right, Ramsey Swice, go. I never repeat a joke on YouTube. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. That was a humorous and a serious show today. Both were interesting. Tell your friends about it if they want to see it on a podcast. Go to the Kovacs perspective.com. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Steve Kovacs. So long.